The painter Paul Klee once said, "Art does not reproduce the visible. It's there to visualize." Accordingly, it was an artist who set out to visualize Salzburg in the Mozart year. The Salzburg Festival's famous shout is being heeded by Georg Riha and his Brains and Pictures team. It's the start into a production adventure that would last 2 years, a journey through both known and unknown corners of Mozart's birthplace, driven by the director's passion to visualize in his own very special style. On board are all the high-tech camera systems that enable Georg Riha to open completely new perspectives for his viewers. The never-ending struggle for ever new points of view requires extreme camera positions. These are preparations for a so-called time-lapse shot. All the components of this one-of-a-kind system have been specially designed and built by Brains and Pictures. Calculating and programming automatic interval controls and exposure ramps enable perfect shots in varying light conditions. The electronic and mechanical elements of these special cameras are also developed and built in Tullnbach, Austria. After the start command, the recording program runs automatically. The motion control of the housing is linked to camera control. This camera records long-term action in an extreme time-lapse mode, creating a completely new sensation of time, not only from a static angle, but combined with pre-programmed pans. These impressions are planned and programmed by Georg Riha himself. The playful precision of his camera moves belies the elaborate development and training that precedes such shots. Meanwhile, Riha's special skills in navigating cameras has earned him international renown. With the aplomb of an experienced operator, Georg guides these sensitive camera moves to end precisely on target. Moving a camera freely in an unlimited aerial space is one thing, but dealing with the narrow spaces of a built-up area is another. The Brains and Pictures team installs their technology in and around St. Sebastian's Church. Here it's a CAMCAT, a computer-controlled cable car that can be adapted to just about any location. The difficulty is to find anchor points for the cable ends. When natural points are missing, cranes mounted on heavy trucks are used. A new location, the riding school. The director is looking for camera positions that will allow him to do justice to this space, both from above and from ground level. Here, a 200-ton crane with 67 meters maximum height plus 25 meters grid height, totaling at almost 100 meters above ground, supplies the top position. The camera track is defined and physically prepared over several hours. This will allow the camera to dive down between the cables with absolute precision. For any other system, this would present insurmountable problems. What tempted Georg into this project? After the sweeping series about Austria, the cathedral, the mountain, the palace, the river, we now take a look at the fortress. It's very important to me. I think Salzburg is worth showing in front of the curtain in a new manner.
Und ich glaube, dass wir das mit unseren technischen Mitteln sehr schön gelöst haben.
The filmic setups of Brains and Pictures hardly disturb traffic and leave no traces, an important feat with all these listed historical locations in Salzburg. CAMCAT set up in the Mirabell Gardens, 150 meters track length. As usual, the entire team pulls together. Cables are stretched from the trailer base in the castle garden above natural obstacles, over pulleys, to the 90-ton crane. The CAMCAT car with its computer-controlled IMAX remote head runs flawlessly at a speed of 2.5 meters per second. People and cameras near ground level do not necessarily indicate a search for a new angle. It could also be camera assistants searching for a hair in the gate. It's the final routine check before the camera is sent on its journey. A track shot, free and unshackled, yet earthbound minutely controlled and exactly repeatable in every phase. At the residence well, the recording situation has entered a hot phase. It's literally the heat that is torturing the team. Camera and car are controlled by Georg Riha and his camera operator Rudolf Kirschbaumsteiner. The CAMCAT is used 8 times in the Salzburg production. The technical flagship of Brains and Pictures has earned several international awards for its flexibility and the extreme possibilities it offers. Today, 5 of Riha's systems are operating around the globe. After an almost vertical track shot at 2.5 meters per second, Riha's team received their baby with loving care. Water, always part of the scene in Salzburg. So the residence well and Hellbrunn are not the only watery challenge for Georg Riha.
Heißt, dass ich die ganze Statue, dass ich eigentlich das Ganze nur über den Spiegel beobachte.
Even without CAMCAT, Riha's ideas for shooting the Hellbrunn water world can only be realized with a technical apparatus. This time it's a 12-meter camera jib. The camera is controlled through a remote head, but the jib itself needs a practiced, sensitive hand. It takes a lot of routine for a team to harmoniously combine the various movements. Georg Riha's camera work not only gives his viewers a new experience of space and time, they also experience new relationships of scale. For seconds, the miniatures in the mechanical theatre are perceived like real people in a street scene.